Well, our week gets off to a cool start, but a dry start, partly cloudy. Temperatures right around 50 for our Monday afternoon. The night's chilly. We're in the upper 20s, near 30. Most of us below freezing around the lake. But Tuesday, we talk about a big warm-up. I think we've got an opportunity easily to get into the upper 60s, maybe even near 70. We're bringing a rain chance later in the week. That's your forecast from the Serve Pickleball and Kitchen. I'm WSIC meteorologist Chase Myers.
If you need home medical equipment, call Lowry Drug in Statesville. We have everything you need in stock, including portable oxygen concentrators, CPAPs, masks, lift chairs, wheelchairs, scooters, hospital beds, supplies, and anything else you need. Get it when you need it. Check out LowryDrug.com or call 704-873-2247. Lowry Drug, your hometown source since 1959, across from Iredell Memorial Hospital. We are worth the drive. Come see us.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
I want to see the kind of industries that are opening up.
This is Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnone, where your business matters. Local Biz Now.
You have to determine what is working, what isn't working.
Joe Vagnone is a respected business broker, helping individuals buy and sell businesses. Joe has successfully owned and operated many companies in a variety of industries. This is Local Biz Now. Biz Now, because your business matters.
Yeah. You are listening to the #1 live talk business show in North Carolina. We're coming to you live from Burner Cigar Studio, home of the finest premium cigars and cigar smokers in the world. Great people, premium cigars. Life is good at Burner Cigars, located in Brookdale Village and also in Denver on Highway 16. Go on by there, tell them Joe sent you, and your first cigar is on me. We hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you, because that's what we do here every Monday afternoon. If this is News Talk WSIC, 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM. I am Joe Vagnone, and this is Local Biz Now. To prove it to you, because I know still, after 13 years, there's people saying there's not possible for Joe to have the #1 live business talk radio show in North Carolina. Let me prove it to you. First of all, we've been doing this for over 13 years. We have over 970 something. I don't know exactly. I got to get Julie to give an exact count, but we're on our way to 1,000 interviews. And when we get to 1,000 interviews, I'm going to have some kind of cake or balloon or something. I don't know. But we're close. We're very close to that. It's certainly going to happen this year. We have well over 800 of those interviews on our YouTube channel. Please go to Joe Vagnone, a business broker. Again, Joe Vagnone, business broker on YouTube, and subscribe. We would appreciate that. Again, Joe Vagnone, business broker on YouTube. We would appreciate that, and subscribe. And we have playlists after playlist. The amount of videos are just off the chart. A lot of sharp, intelligent people just like today that know their stuff. And we have put all that on tape and have that for you at Joe Vagnone, business broker on YouTube as well. We're live in the book, live on the tubes, live on the X, and live on the chain. If you don't know Joe Talk, that is Facebook, YouTube, X, and LinkedIn, all of them live, and we are streaming on any place you pick up your podcast. We'll be happy to chit-chat with you on WSIC Facebook Live. Julie is there. Julie's been with me over 10 years. She has been working with me. I force her to help me with the radio show. Her main job is she does all the inquiries and qualifications for all of my business brokerage inquiries. She is one of the top client managers in the state. She has qualified over 5,000 potential buyers over the last 10 years or so. Very few people have done that much and can say that much. And she also monitors Facebook for us now. So what I love to tell people is everybody needs a Julie. So that being said, as you know, we always have a co-host, and this month is no exception. Michael Clegg, you should remember him. He's been on the show before. Michael is the managing partner for Q Works Group. Michael, my friend, thank you for being here, buddy. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I can't believe Julie's still putting up with you.
So you being an expert, you know she's right for the taking, don't
She's
you?
fantastic.
Well, I tell people Julie is exceptional, but it's years of me training, that gets people to that point.
Be interested to see
Anybody
Julie's
can
take
have
on
the
that.
best in their industry. All you got to do is train them and give them the best.
That's right.
One of the things I do, I know you agree with this, I make sure she finds ways to continuously educate herself and allow her to pick and choose how she learns. And nowadays, it's much easier than it used to be. All you got to do is click on a link, and you can be at a seminar sitting in your front living room.
Yep, absolutely.
So, Michael, thanks for being here, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having
Now,
me.
let me be clear, okay? I got a motto: rain, sleet, or snow.
we go.
Don't you worry. You can count on Joe. For 2 weeks in a row, you're supposed to be here.
1 week.
So, Superstar is the reason for the first week. You're the reason for the second week. Because I got to blame somebody, you
Yes.
and Superstar, for not allowing me to honor my motto, my personal motto, and go live in the snow. So, you will only accept
Week 2.
week 2.
That's right.
Superstar has to accept for week 1 that I could not be here live. I was excited about being able to say, in the snow, my motto, and you two took that away from me.
I think that requires Superstar to have a new nickname.
He's turning on you, Superstar. He is turning on you. It's funny because we couldn't decide whether we were going to do it last week or not. And when you sent me an email, I was in my PJs thinking, oh, good, I'm glad. I really didn't feel like
It's a long drive from South Charlotte.
So I appreciate you doing that.
Absolutely.
I know that, buddy. I appreciate you being there. I'm picking on you, and I didn't expect for you to drive all the way up here anyway. So before we dig in, one of your loves is football coach, correct?
Yep, that's right.
Where do you do that at?
Marvin Ridge High School down in South Charlotte.
And how long you been doing that?
Oh, geez. Man, I've coached football for the better part of 20 years at Marvin Ridge since 2013, I think. So, gosh, do the math. Hard to believe.
So here's the question.
Yeah.
Does coaching help you become a better business leader, or does business leader help you become a better coach? Which one? Does it?
Chicken or egg? Good
Yeah.
one. I think they both are parallel, really, truly. I think the things that it's a blessing to be able to spend time with the kids, teaching them life lessons. But oftentimes, I'm sure as our guest will say, we learn a lot more from the kids than we probably teach them in many cases.
Right.
So, but it does. It helps in both ways. When you get an opportunity, coaching is coaching, right? It's about relationships and people. And whenever you take that out of the equation, that's when things go sideways.
Well, I think that's why you and I get along so well, because I get, my older brother taught me how to coach football, right?
Yeah.
And then when my son got older, I did a lot of coaching for middle school and high school lacrosse. There is this leadership skill set required, right?
Sure.
And about game day, you start to figure out if you're any good at it or not, right?
That's exactly right. Because at that point, it doesn't matter what you've taught; it's on the kids.
That's right. And so there is that connection, and I think we kind of just get that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's so many business people that I know and business coaches that I know that will tell me athletes and a skilled CEO really do have the same skill set and require the same necessity for this positive outlook on life and their business.
I would agree.
Let's take a break. We're going to have some fun. I did something for the first time. I asked the Terminator. By the way, Terminator is AI, if you don't know that.
Yeah.
Give me some questions for you.
All right.
But here's what's interesting. They answered them. So I'm going to ask you, and then I'm going to tell you what the Terminator thinks you would have said.
It's going to be like, are you smarter than a fifth grader?
A test of yourself.
I like it.
You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. I am here with Michael Clegg. He is the managing partner of Q Works Group. We'll be right back.
The Terminator. And I can't believe Julie's still putting up with you for real.
Say what?
I said, I can't believe Julie's putting up with you for real.
Well, two things.
Yeah.
First of all, she's a family friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. We met at church, so I have to behave myself at all possible as I can. And of course, the job is virtual. So when she's sick and tired of Joe, she can just shut it down for a couple of days.
That's right. How is your brother doing?
He's doing great. He sold his business last year. Wow. He is retired, but I promise you, most of my buyer clients are retired. After about 3 years, they call me and say, man, I want to do something. I got to do something. When I wake up in the morning, I got to have something to do. Yeah. So he'll be back at it. He'll be doing something. Meanwhile, he's been coaching football up at Western Carolina, up that way. Good. So he really enjoys he doesn't want to be head coach. Yeah. Too much pressure. He said he loves doing I think he does the linebackers and special teams. And he said, Joe, I just love it. You know, I get my coach fixed, but I'm not responsible for
it's so much pressure.
The headaches that go with that.
Errands.
Right.
That's why we only work with you.
Right.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I do
Been there, done that.
At times, coaching youth ball for that reason.
Yeah. You remember why you love the sport.
Exactly right.
Every day.
That's funny. Okay, are you ready to answer questions from the?
Let's go.
From the Terminator.
What I'll do is I'll just pull up my AI.
You should pull up yours.
As he's asking the question.
There you go.
Let it listen.
You know, it's funny. You could fail your own personal questions.
It's highly likely. I'm okay with that.
Oh, that's funny. Oh. So we got about 15 minutes, then we'll go to a break, and then you're up.
Sounds great.
I want to talk about Q Works for a minute first. Yeah, you are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone, where your business matters. This is WSIC 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM. This is the #1 live talk business show in North Carolina, and I am here with Michael Clegg. He is the managing partner at Q Works Group. Michael, briefly, Q Works Group, kind of walk me through some of the disciplines that it actually does.
Yeah. So QWorks Group is an executive placement firm. So we place director level and above up to the C-suite, mostly manufacturing, construction, some service industries, but I would say the predominant are in the manufacturing construction industry. And that was the one thing that you didn't know, because last year, when I was here, when you introduced me as the managing partner of QWorks Group, which I had a business partner at the time, and the founder of Leadership Squared, which is my leadership development company. Well, we are just about complete. Press release is actually sitting at pr.com, so we're waiting for them to approve it. We're merging the companies because it makes a lot of sense, right? So I've promoted our president, Katie Tripp. So she's going to be running the organization, and I get to give her the headaches now. So looking forward to that. But that's it. It makes a lot of sense when we're already placing people at organizations for us to be able to come in and help them either with the onboarding or with a 12-month coaching program for them, so that they land softly, so we can help build them retention.
And I know you put a lot of those coaching programs together and set up, because I know through having conversations with
Absolutely.
you. It's kind of the coaching you X and O's, and then you applied it to the skill set in
Absolutely.
which the employment and staffing that you're coaching. So I'm positive you're providing them with some proprietary stuff they can't get someplace else. Would that be a
cannot.
good guess?
That's a great guess.
Yeah,
I would say 90% of what we do is really, it's been based upon 25 years of my own personal leadership and working with coaches, and been blessed to have some great coaches and mentors throughout. So I have just packaged that, and this is year 3, and we're doing extremely well, and really excited to continue to see what 26 holds for us. And it's even scary to say 26 out loud, because that means I'm really getting old. But the reality
We
of
are
it,
getting old.
We are. Yes, it feels better to say it together. But no, it is. Leadership is always the tip of the spear, regardless, whether it's sports, whether it's business, personal relationships. You have to have a level of leadership, and you don't have to have the title to be that leader.
Right. So if somebody wanted to reach you, there's a business owner out there thinking, I could use a couple of executives because I don't like the ones I got. How can they reach you?
Or they're growing, so they need some new executives.
Okay.
They like the ones they have right now.
Always got to clean up my talk, don't you, Michael?
That's
Okay.
right. Best is on LinkedIn. I'm Michael B. Clegg on LinkedIn. That's probably the easiest.
That's Clegg for those of you that like me that are spelling challenged. Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions.
Let's go.
I went to the Terminator. I
right.
asked the Terminator to put some questions together.
Okay.
I've been doing this year because people that I have interviewed 3 or 4 times, I'm kind of bored of me asking the same questions over and over again. So I wanted to see, and the Terminator's come up with some fun questions. Because I asked the Terminator for not questions, but Q&A, they answered your questions.
Love it.
So I wanted to try this for a second. So here's a question. How do you describe your leadership style in 3 words? Here's what
3 words.
the Terminator said.
Okay.
Transparent, accountable, and people first. That kind of works for you, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the first.
Would you add something to that?
If you would have said one word, I would have said humanizing conscious leadership. So I think I love the accountable part was put in, because most people think if you're humanizing it, it's a soft way that accountability is left. But accountability is never left.
Right.
It's part of accountability. Gets a bad name to begin with, but because it's really about individual ownership. When you're lacking that, that's what makes accountability tough.
I agree. Listen, I could not tell you what Julie does at any moment of any part of the day. All I can tell you is I am extremely grateful she takes ownership in making sure the job gets done to her satisfaction. Lucky for me, her standards are actually higher than mine in most cases.
Honestly, that makes you a great leader. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's where leadership falters, is when they think that they're threatened or afraid to bring in people that are better for them.
Right.
I like to surround. There's a reason that Katie Tripp is going to be running our organization.
Right.
She is significantly better than I will ever care to be at that fact. So that's the part when people are threatened around their own roles.
See, the only thing I would add here,
Sure.
I would not have added accountability.
Yeah.
I would add training.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you're the guy that will sit down with somebody and make sure they absolutely understand what it is you're trying to make sure they know. And here's where you can go to gather more information. Am I close on that?
I love that, and I love that the Terminator is giving you these ideas as well, because that's exactly what I have a large coaching cohort that's coming up in March, and the difference of this is we talk about this is data-driven, not theory-driven. Right. So all of my coaching practices are very, very practical and applicable. So if someone is in a training on a Friday, they can use it on Monday. And a lot of the stuff that we see on the internet and historical trainings are very theoretical. If this, then that.
Right.
And in reality, you have to have a standard baseline of what good looks like.
Okay.
It has to be people-oriented.
Okay. Now, I can, because my brother did what you did for years, right?
Yep.
And there was a low level in my life, right, where I was thinking maybe I'll go work for him. And I can remember walking into his big downtown office. Now, my brother got this big, nice, sexy glass office in the corner, but I walked through about 200 little cubbies. There's just, by the time I got to his office to ask for the job, I said, Mike, I can't, if I got to work in one of those little cubbies, I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Understood.
So here's my question.
Sure.
How has remote and hybrid work affected executive search and leadership retention? Because I know it's a completely different job than it used, or I think it's a completely different job than sitting in those cubbies.
Yeah, no, I think everything about remote workforce has changed the world of work forever, and it's never going back. I do believe if I had a preference, I would say a hybrid workforce is better. As an example, we are 100% remote, and that's been 12 months or so since we've done that. The part that is missing, and the data shows this too, is that remote does hold back. It's that whole when you're face to face with someone, the relationship aspect of it does really grow. That is missing because image and exposure is where promotions come from, not performance. And so when someone is not in front of you,
say that again.
Image and exposure. There's a theory called the pie theory. Image and exposure actually represents about 90% of why people get promoted and have success in business, and it's because of how people think and feel about you. When you're not working with them day to day, that does lapse because performance only accounts for 10% in this pie theory, which is the guy's name is Harvey Coleman, and so the remote workforce does get impacted by that. And not to mention the rates of promotion is significantly less for people that are remote. And that's the downside.
That absolutely should be easy to accept that statement, right?
But it's not because some people feel that they're more productive. We went remote because I have people on the other side of Gaston. I have people on the other side of Concord. In Charlotte's 90-minute drive each way. I would much rather have them recruiting and working with our clients during that time rather than sitting in the car 2.5 to 3 hours every day. So for us, it works. But where the challenge is what happens when you hire someone brand new or someone junior that doesn't have that day to day. You really have to figure out how to work through the asynchronous technology to be able to train and develop them. But tomorrow, my team's coming in, and we're having a half day.
So it is still about training. It's just a different way to do the training.
It is.
Okay, another question from the Terminator. You have likely interviewed thousands of leaders. What's the difference between, or is there a differentiator between this great leader or merely just a good leader? Can you tell a difference?
Yes. Behaviors. Everything is driven by behaviors. Everything that I do in my coaching practice starts with self-awareness. Now, and by the way, if I said it in the studio, if I said, hey, who in here thinks they're self-aware? 9 out of 10 of us are going to raise our hands, right? And the data shows that 95% of people think that they're self-aware. But what people don't realize...
I didn't know that data said that because I would think most people aren't self-aware, but I didn't know they thought they were.
Did you get that from Terminator? Because you're right. You're exactly right. Only 10 to 15% actually have a high level of self-awareness.
Interesting.
So that has to be the tip of the spear because the problem is that external self-awareness is how other people are impacted by us. So, you know, the old adage is people don't remember what you say, but they remember how you made them feel. That's external self-awareness. So that is where everything starts with my training is helping people understand how they impact other people because that leads to all the behaviors which ultimately lead to the outcomes.
That is interesting.
Yep.
I would have never thought that.
Yep.
Okay.
Most don't. That's why it's hard to market too. How do you help somebody that doesn't think they need help?
Exactly.
Okay, here we go. Here's another one. What's your biggest takeaway after years in the executive search business? What takeaway would you give from this executive search? Because I got to tell you something. More and more people are relying on professionals like you to help them because it's really tough out there to figure it out.
It is. It's tough to figure out the people themselves because there's an art to interviewing. And there are a lot of people that interview extremely well, but do not duplicate that in their efforts, right? So it goes back to the behaviors first and foremost. And the thing that I would say that it's not change, but certainly my mindset on this, and what I've learned over the last 25 plus years is the bottom line is that most people spend less than 30 seconds preparing for an interview. I think the average is like 92 or 93 seconds that people spend prepping for interviews. It's pretty bad.
Michael, I'm embarrassed to say this. I hired a new in-house social media, and I asked the Terminator to give me 20 questions and to create this scale so I could measure her 1 through 10.
Yeah.
We talked for an hour and a half. I never asked one of those questions. I am not disciplined enough to be able to follow the instructions of what I knew I needed to do.
If you knew the number of times when people sat in a one-on-one interview face-to-face and walked out going, wow, I feel this is the right person, that it didn't work out, it'd blow your mind.
Yeah. Let's take a break. When we come back, I'm going to introduce you to our next guest. You are listening to Michael Clegg. He is a managing partner of Q Works Group. Michael, if they want to reach you, how could they do it, buddy?
LinkedIn, Michael B. Clegg. On LinkedIn, that'd be the easiest way.
Okay. You are listening to Local Biz Now, where your business matters. We'll be right back.
Let's see what the wife said. Normally my wife's on Facebook making fun of me.
Are you related to some Cleggs that are up this way?
I don't think so. Most of
Bill
there's
Clegg?
there's a lot more in North Carolina than in Virginia, where
Really?
I'm from. Interestingly enough,
Really?
but
I've never met another Clegg, but our old neighbors in Huntersville are Cleggs.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. Where in Virginia are you from?
Grew up in born in Manassas.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
south side of the DC area.
My parents are in Roanoke.
I still got
But
plenty of
my
questions
oldest
for
kid
next
lives
week,
in-
Michael.
I'll take them.
They're pretty good questions. I
They
mean,
are. No, they're great questions. I use AI 60% of my day.
well, for me, I started this year because we've started bringing back some people that have been on the show a lot. And so I'm asking them all I know to add, and it's boring me to have the same person on again. Yeah. So when I asked the Terminator, they gave me these great questions, and then I'm realizing the people answering, they like the questions.
Great.
So, yes.
Yeah, those are good questions.
Yes. So Terminator is working for me.
Yeah. I graduated from Radford. My wife and I both did.
Really?
So we say
that's
Roanoke.
awesome.
Yep. Yeah, no, I've got a lot of a lot of family members down there in the Salem area.
Yep.
The Bohans, the Hughes.
I know the Pews, like not Carolyn, Sue, and Ronnie.
No, let's see. Archie, Hugh. He's probably he's probably 58, 59. So older than you. His
1 minute.
His kids, early 50s. Josh Pugh.
That's
Luke Pugh.
That's interesting. I'll have to ask. So we have like cousins on my mom's side of the family are there, and are born and raised in that area of
very
town,
cool.
and their kids are one is my age, so 55, but she's in the DC now. But yeah, I mean that's a big name in Roanoke. I guess, though, too.
No, they were all. Few of
Lots
them
of
were
youth.
really good football players.
Yeah.
Superstar, why you gotta be so pushy? Ashley, you ready?
I am.
Michael, you got questions? You need some of my Terminator questions.
No, I'm good.
Yeah. You are listening to the #1 live talk business show in North Carolina. I am Joe Vagnone. We hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you because that's what we do here at News Talk WSIC. 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM. This is Local Biz Now, where your business matters. I've been talking with Michael Clegg, and Michael, my friend, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you're going to be with us for the rest of the month.
Yep.
We have
rain or snow.
Thank you, my friend. I do appreciate it. We have a guest that I'm excited to have a conversation with. Well, let me just introduce her. Her name is Ashley Conger. Am I saying that correctly?
Hargy, Conger.
Conger?
Yeah.
You and your husband are with Soccer Stars.
Yep.
Thank you so much for coming in. I really do appreciate it.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
So, did you want to come or did your husband not want to come? Because all my emails are with your husband and then you showed up. So, which one is it? Just tell the truth now on live radio.
He had planned to come, and as with most small business owners, sometimes the best laid plans don't come to fruition, and so you're stuck with me instead. So.
Michael, I got a feeling we got the better end of the partnership.
Yep,
I got to be honest with you. We've been talking with Ashley during the break. So this is kind of half of what you do, right? So walk me through what the life of Ashley is all about, because soccer isn't everything that you do.
It's not. It's a huge part of my life, and it's been a part of my life for a really long time. But I am a marketing executive by trade. I work in the healthcare industry. And Brian, my partner in the business and in life, is a very successful entrepreneur. I know you know Brian well. And he sold a small business in 22. And we were looking for sort of what is the next thing for us together, something that could be part of our longer term, maybe retirement or early retirement plan. We both have a love and a passion for soccer, and we found this opportunity, and it felt like a really good way to do something that we're really passionate about, but kind of gives back to the community. I've lived in the Lake Norman area for 30 years. My kids grew up here. They started playing soccer at 3 when the soccer organization here was run out of somebody's garage, and now it's one of the largest clubs in the state. So it just is a really, really nice fit. So I do all of the behind the scenes, and Brian's more on the front of the house.
So if they wanted to reach you, how could they do that?
Sure. You can go to our website, soccerstars.com/LKN, or you can always reach me on LinkedIn. I'm just LinkedIn, Ashley Conger. Anyway.
So soccerstars.com, LKN, I must tell you, when I went there and I saw the photos of these kids, just brought back memories. Good, healthy memories. I know Mike agrees with me on this. There is not a better foundation for children than team sports as early as you can get them. Sure. And since Michael and I love football and we can't put pads on at 2 and 3.
A different football, but yes, that's right. True.
Still football.
That's right.
But soccer is the next choice. So it really is more than just a sport. In my view, this is the foundation to move your children in an interest that is healthy, that is outdoors. Is that why you are doing this? Because when I dig into this, some of it seems a love of soccer. Some of it seems a love of team. Some of it seems a love of children. Like, when you wake up in the morning, which one of those just sort of inspires you to do this?
It's a great question. I think it comes back to the joy of soccer. So I have a child who started sleeping with a soccer ball at age 4, and I'm not exaggerating, who went on to play. He left home at 16 to play for DC United, their MLS academy. He played for a USL team. He played top 5 D1. And you lose a lot of the joy of soccer on that journey. It's a beautiful thing,
right?
But you lose a lot of the joy. And so what we found in Soccer Stars is a way to create just an absolute love of the game that's independent of competition. So because we work with kids starting at age 2.
Right.
And we go only through elementary school, age 11. And that is very much by design, right? Because we just feel really strongly about the fundamentals. So physical literacy, right? A lot of times you just throw kids into sports and they don't even know what their feet do other than get them from place to place, right? Different parts of their feet, different parts of the body. So we just found this opportunity to really have this organic growth into soccer so that when they show up for soccer or candidly any other sport, they're so much more confident, they're so much more resilient, and they're so much more skilled. And so they might stick with the sport longer.
Right.
You know, if you
Which
have
is
young
very
kids.
important, especially when they get to this teenage. Yeah.
It is. And sometimes the kids who honestly have the most probably raw potential and talent get so overwhelmed in that first setting when they're 5 or 6 that they walk away and they never come back. So we like to say we create lifetime athletes because they go in with the confidence and the skills to have that first outing be much more successful and positive.
So, Ashley, I tell business people all the time, don't just buy a business don't buy a bakery because you like cookies. Did you buy a business because you like soccer? Because
No.
This is a business. This is a multi-million-dollar operation
It's a huge business.
with plenty of competition, right?
It's a hugely competitive
walk me
space.
through the aha moment of, I bought a business, not just a fun and games business.
Yeah, thank you for asking that. What we found and what we have found with Soccer Stars is that the thing that was missing for my children and all of the children who've come up through soccer is this early focus and this early development. We just like to throw kids right in and say, chase the ball. But that's really not what soccer is about at the end of the day, or any sport, really. And so for us, there isn't anybody in this space. There's tons of soccer. My goodness, it's a big pie, and there's lots of kids that love
Right.
soccer and are playing. But there is nobody that educates that comes from, like, our curriculum is designed not by soccer coaches, which is a beautiful thing if you've grown up with kids who have worked with soccer coaches their whole lives. It's designed by early childhood development specialists and child psychologists. And the difference then in what that makes possible for those children is remarkable. And there is nobody in this area or anywhere else that treats soccer or sport like we do.
You know, Michael, that's a little bit different than what I grew up with.
Very.
You don't need water.
No.
Yeah.
Water was evil.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll give you something to
It's
cry
why
about.
I don't like running
you-
to this day, because it was a punishment.
Exactly.
That's right.
You know, the proof in the pudding was for us. You know, we called our kids and we
Right.
said, what do you think about this? And even my kiddo, who was incredibly successful as a soccer player, said, wow, I really wish something like that was around
Right.
when I was little, as did my oldest, right? And did Brian's daughter. So, you know, we just felt like we really were onto something there.
Okay. So your background is marketing.
Mm-hmm.
How did you apply that to your small business? Because I find people that are really skilled in large corporate businesses, it's very hard to scale that to a small business. Walk me through how that happened for you.
Well, it was a bit of a wake-up call for me because I have been a successful marketer for a really long time.
Right? You said,
Marketing
what
is
do you
small.
mean you don't have $100,000 to get started?
Social media is a really different beast when you're marketing to mothers of toddlers, because that's really our predominant market, our parents. It's very, very different. It takes a lot of learning. It's a lot of content creation. So, and the value prop is just very, very different. And in small business, I'm sure you know this, word of mouth is everything and reputation is everything. So as a new business, we're dealing with a lot of competitors who've been in the space a long time. So developing partnerships like we have with Charlotte Independent Soccer Club, Hyper Elite down in Matthews, all the school partnerships that we're doing, that's really been the aha moment for me, because just going at it as a small business in a really crowded market, I can be the best marketer in the world,
Right.
but there has to be a way to amplify that and bring some interest and some exposure into what we do. And once people work with us,
Has it been social media? Has that been it? Because what I find small business people still the best thing to do is roll up your sleeves and knock on the door. Hi, I'm Ashley, and tell me what's working for you.
well, you've met Brian.
Yeah,
So
that's right, that's right.
Brian has an English accent. You would not believe how many doors that opens. It's nobody says no when he knocks on
I've
the door.
actually considered pretending that I had an accent just when I cold call people.
It's for real. It's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
It really is. I love that. That's why I was sad you didn't get to have him here today, so
That's
you can
right.
have the English accent. So I think that it's just been a lot of boots on the ground. But I will tell you that once we're with someone, whether it's with a PTA, so we partner with PTA organizations across, from Lake Norm all the way down through Fort Mill, Rock Hill. And when they see what that does for their kiddos, it keeps growing and growing without us. It just is word of mouth. And then once the schools see us and they understand that we're educators alongside them with their young kids, then that word of mouth grows. But to start, it's Brian knocking on doors with that.
Yeah, and I tell people that once you knock on enough doors, then all of this other stuff works because the credibility follows with that.
Absolutely.
And Brian's the kind of guy, not just because of the accent.
He's a great guy.
He is a trustworthy guy. Okay, so the Terminator question.
Okay.
You've grown from a few locations to well over 500 kids. Talk about why and how that rapid growth happened. But let's go to break, and then when you come back, we're gonna talk about that growth.
Okay.
Okay. You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. I'm here with Ashley. Ashley, say your last name again.
Conger.
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 Do I got that, Michael?
Conger.
Yeah, because you look like you want to make fun of me about that.
I wanted to, but I go into break.
Ashley, co-founder of Soccer Stars here in LKN. We'll be right back.
That's awesome. World Cup year too, huh?
So excited.
A bunch of big soccer matches coming to Charlotte. Spring, right?
Yeah. We've got my alma mater, Wake Forest, is hosting the German national team while they're here for training. So we're going to get to see some of their training. And Charlotte FC will host quite a bit. And then we've got games in Atlanta. We've got games in Houston where Brian's daughter lives. So we're hoping to have quite a bit. And there's going to be a good bit of soccer fever. So it's timely this year.
I would think that would have been my question is how is that impacting your business? I would think that'd be a positive.
Yeah, we expect it. I mean, it always just gets more, and people are like, I want to try soccer. Look at that. I want to try soccer. When it becomes more, kids can turn on the TV any day and see basketball, football. But when they can turn on their TV and they see soccer and they get exposed to it, it opens up.
Okay. What you looking at? Michael, you got one job before this month is over.
Nickname?
Nickname.
Love it.
I can tell you the time I was the head coach at Pop Warner, Lake Norman, Giant Pop Warner. On the back of all the jerseys were their nicknames.
Oh, that's great.
Not their real names, their nicknames.
I love that.
Now imagine this. First game, referee stands up. Offsides, 5 yards, Pop-Tart. I mean, the entire
That's awesome.
field was just dying laughing.
That's fantastic.
We have nicknames for all our kids. It's just the way to refer to them,
Oh, yeah.
right?
They loved. I mean, it got started because I gave a nickname to one or two. Then they all wanted a nickname. That's right. That's right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
That was the same year my brother and I had the toilet bowl. Both of us. It was after the season.
Oh yeah.
Both of us got our teams together and played the game.
Oh, you had two
against each other.
separate teams.
You
That's
called
right.
it the toilet bowl.
That's
I
right.
like that.
That's
great.
right. Because he was at Hemi Bridge at the time,
Oh, okay.
and I was at Lake Norman.
Yeah.
So we created the toilet bowl.
Is there an official record?
Yeah. He won. I lost. I still don't talk about it. Yeah. You are listening to Local Biz Now, where your business matters. I am here with Michael. Michael, my friend, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it, buddy. I know you got a good long distance to travel, and I thank you for that.
No, love being here.
Ashley, you are one of the owners of Soccer Stars. How did you choose Soccer Stars? How did that come about?
We just were looking for a way to give back to the community and do something that we both had a lot of passion and love for. And as I mentioned, the approach that Soccer Stars takes with educating young children is wholly unique in this space.
And so before the break, we were talking about your growth has just been unbelievable. I mean, I remember talking to you guys.
Right?
When you had like maybe a team, you weren't sure what was going to happen next month.
Exactly.
You know, it really has just been explosive.
What happened? It can't all be just a
The accent?
I was
Can't all be the accent.
I was,
Can't all be
I was
Brian.
going to say sexy British accent, and I couldn't decide whether to do it, Michael. So thank
I
you.
gotcha.
We certainly have had a tipping point this year. There was a time we thought, are we ever going to even get to 100 kids, right? And now, like you said, we're well over 500. And I would say once people see what we do and how we do things, so we go into a lot of preschools and daycares and charter schools and private schools and public schools. And as soon as one teacher sort of sees us, so our biggest moment, we were at a really big school here in Lake Norman. We have 85 kids enrolled in our program. We go in once a week and do soccer classes for 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. And one of the teachers looked at us, and they'd had a competitor in there previously, and she just looked at me. She goes, I get it. You're educators, not babysitters. And then you've got the teachers telling the parents, you have to be a part of this program. Your
Right.
child needs this. Your child needs confidence. Your child needs socialization.
Right.
Love that.
Right. And that has where we have just expanded by leaps and bounds is just all those advocates who see us. And, moms talk, right? So we're on the moms groups on Facebook and on social media. And, once one mom has a great experience and they share it, then we just grow. And then because we partner with PTOs as a fundraiser, so we give a portion of our revenue back to every school that we work with. So
Good for
we
you.
give back. And PTOs see that, schools see that, and they go, wow, these guys are doing amazing things, and they want to support our school financially.
So, and Michael, I know this is dear to your heart here, right? So first of all, you don't have to have a soccer coach to assist you, because the truth is it's more about teaching and educating and motivating the children, not soccer itself. And the fundamentals, if you know about 4 or 5 things, you can kind of take it the rest of the way. But that being said, finding trainers and coaches has to be a challenge for you, is it? Or where are you finding them from?
I think every small business in this day and age struggles with staffing. We are blessed.
Not Michael's clients.
Not Michael's.
Michael's
Michael's
clients
got
are.
executives.
That's
That's
right.
different.
That's right.
Great point.
So we tend to attract a couple of different types. So certainly former teachers who love children, but who are just not at a place to be in the classroom with the level of anxiety that causes. So we have several former teachers that are amazing educators and coaches. A lot of them played soccer in college and love it. And so when you find somebody that thinks and realizes I can make a living, I can still be around children, I get to be around soccer, I get to be outside, and I get to make an impact in children's lives. Like, those are our coaches that stay with us. We have half of the Wingate girls soccer team are our coaches in South Carolina.
That's fantastic.
So we find soccer players when they're off season, and the kids are like, they just get such
They would
young
rather do
elementary.
that than work at a bar or a hostess. Yeah.
Absolutely. And they love it, and they're amazing teachers. And they get to give back to the support by coaching 3s, 4s, 5s, or our elementary school kids. They just get so starstruck.
And it may lead some of them down the road to become coaches one day.
Absolutely.
And now that you've given them that great foundation, that's awesome. I really like that.
Yeah.
So tell me about theme-based approach and practices.
Yeah.
That this is a Terminator question, and I didn't see that on your website. So walk me through that.
Absolutely. So as I mentioned, our curriculum is developed by early childhood psychologists. And so one thing we know about children is they love to imagine, they love to pretend, they love to make believe, and they relate to things in a different way. So if you tell a kid, just go dribble the ball.
I mean,
they
I
don't know
understand
what
that
means.
because Superstar imagines he's spectacular all the time. I understand that. Children just dream all the time. I understand that.
They do. So when we tell them that a ball is a dolphin, and you're taking it to meet his friend the clam, and you're taking him from one point A to point B to go, they love that, and they do it. One day, we're playing red light, green light with the kids. There isn't a child alive, by the way, that doesn't love red light, green light. It's just a thing. And so instead of talking, we hold up, a red cone or a green cone. And the kids are so excited they're playing red light, green light. Well, they've got a ball at their feet. So what they're learning to do is dribble the ball without looking down, because they're watching red light, green light. But they have no idea that that's what they're learning to do. So we do lots of different things like that, particularly with the younger kids. And then older kids, it's our elementary kids, it's very skill-based, and they just want to scrimmage. but we really focus on what are the positive aspects versus we're not blowing whistles. We're not telling them what they did wrong. We're helping them understand everything they did right, even if it's just making a pass to one of their friends. Because the thing with soccer is if you have kids only focused on scoring a goal, they're going to leave the sport really quickly because very few people score goals with any
I've noticed
consistency.
that about that sport, by the way.
Some people who don't love soccer say that, right?
Yeah.
Like you can have a 0-0 game, and for us it might be a great game, but if you're just a casual spectator, there's no scores. There's nobody scored a goal. So we really focus on that as well, which is like what are the positive things in each moment. We let each child kind of succeed and grow at their own pace.
Need to bring Ashley and Brian to high school practice.
Yeah. We would love it.
Okay, another question.
Yeah.
You might have already answered this one. How important is community and school partnerships, and how did those relationships evolve? You pretty much described that, and that Brian starts by knocking on doors, right? Like that's really where this starts.
It is. It is. And we believe that that's our model versus just putting a sign up in the community and hoping people show up. We really believe in partnering with schools as both a contributor to their children's well-being and their physical fitness and their happiness and confidence, and then also as a partner to help them raise funds for their schools. So for us, that has really been the secret to the success that we've experienced this year.
So I'm gonna guess at this. I could be wrong here, but it wouldn't be the first time. But as much as Michael, as a high school football coach, hates dealing with the parents, because 90% are probably negative communication, I'm gonna guess your parents love you and love the conversation. Is it as frustrating to deal with parents as they get older?
No. As I said, we could go crib to college, but because I have been on those sidelines with those parents, I am never doing that, Joe. Ever.
She's not coming on your side, Michael. You're not getting
If it is, I'm going to be the loving, calm one. Let's focus on what we did well. So the parents in general are so excited. They're so happy to see their kid. And, we talk to them off the bat that we're looking for incremental improvement. For us, it may be a child that for the first 6 weeks of a program sat on mom's lap. Week 7, all of a sudden they show up and he's like, bye, mom. And he's playing. You'll see them dribble the ball. You see balance improving, like their motor skills, their coordination improving. And it's tiny, it's incremental, but it's huge. And we celebrate it like it is the greatest thing that ever happened, because it is for that child.
So you measure a lot of different things.
Oh, we measure all of our motor skills, right? Like just even, we did a little free clinic last week, and there was a 2-year-old that was, or actually it was 3, and he was dribbling and he wanted to touch the ball so badly with his hands, but he stopped himself and finished and got the ball with his feet, and we made it was a huge deal.
Oh, yeah.
And so the parents see that and they realize, okay, there are things that we can praise and encourage that aren't just shooting the ball in the net, because soccer is about a lot more than that.
This reminds me, I spent a lot of money for my son on occupational therapy getting through this. So these are necessary things that children have to go through one way or another. And I can't tell you everything he did in occupational therapy was fun.
Right?
He should have been in a course like this in earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. And so what we like to say is certainly we love soccer and we want everybody to play soccer, but what we want are really confident athletes or robotics, whatever they go to, we know that we have prepared them for that. And so we want them to be successful, whether they stay with soccer or not. And so the way that we kind of focus on those fundamentals and building that confidence can take them anywhere they want to go.
So, and Michael might be able to help you out with this if you can't answer this. So how do you plan on keeping this culture? Because I get it. I get that you and Brian can make sure now that you're at 500 kids. But when you get to 2,000 and 3,000 kids, which believe me, from the way things are going, won't take long to get there, right? Yeah. You're going to have to keep that same culture. How do you plan on doing that?
Joe, that's such a great question, and it's something we think about a lot. It really goes to how we choose our leaders, right? So we have cultivated folks that have come in as, just as coaches to start, and they're now operations managers or they're trainers. And so we have to start cultivating that, and then we're just really, really Brian's not here today because he's coaching, because it's really important to us that the right people are in front of our kids every day. So we have to be super intentional about our hiring practices and how we bring leaders up and cultivate leaders in the business, because they're going to grow with us.
The Terminator wants to know how involved on giving you and Brian advice are your kids?
Oh my goodness, so involved. So my son, as I mentioned, was a competitive player.
The Terminator suspected that.
Yeah, the Terminator had a thought. My son is a private coach. He's a one-on-one coach for D1 athletes. So he gives us a ton of advice. And then my oldest kid is on the spectrum, believe it or not, and we work with a lot of kids who are neurodivergent and have, and so that is our source of truth for how we work with children who may not have the same starting line as every other kid.
So if somebody wanted to reach you, how can they do it?
Soccerstars.com/LKN, or you can reach us on socials. We're on Facebook and Instagram at Soccer Stars LKN Concord, CONCORD.
Soccer Stars. Go there, check it out. Ashley, thank you so much for being
Thanks
here.
for having me. It was great to be here.
Michael Clegg, managing partner of Q Works. I'll see you next week, buddy.
Next week.
You are listening to Local Biz Now, where your business matters. See you next week.